You gotta change your mental by striving to learn info. So open your third eye and recharge your crystals. You gotta change your mental. 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 You gotta change your mental by striving to learn info. So open your third eye and recharge your crystals. You gotta change your mental. You gotta change your mental. You gotta change your mental.
Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, Goddess Nigel. So listen, we're gonna jump right into it today, and I've been on MIA for a couple days, taking a break from social media, also just trying to, I won't say focus on my healing and my spiritual journey, because that's an everyday thing, but just kind of taking some time away from the phone and computer and all that stuff, right? So we're gonna jump right into it, and we're gonna talk about the pain that comes with being the black sheep, the disappointment that comes with being the chosen. And I say pain and disappointment because even though those are titles that might hold great weight, whether positive or negative, there's a lot that you're going to go through when you are the one in your family that stands out, when you are the one in your family that people think you're cool, people know you always going to have a different opinion and outlook on things, but you're always going to be in their eyes like defiant. You're always going to be like argumentative. And usually the black sheep is the one that is going to, if not break generational curses, but just die trying. Like you're going to die trying to break these generational curses for yourself, for your children, and just the generation coming up. You know what I mean? So we don't have a lot of pressure, but I feel like we understand our purpose early on. All right. So just to give you an example, when I was a kid, I used to love watching documentaries about people in other countries, how they live, how they eat, how they communicate, you know, and I would always, in my mind, like just compare how different it was living in the United States, living in New York, to how I watch these people on TV. And I always said to myself, like, I would love to travel. I would love to do documentaries. You know, so to be in a position where I'm able to travel, and I won't say do documentaries, but I am in a space where I can start doing things like that. Like, I've did a little research on certain things that I'm like, you can really get deep with this camera, with this phone. You can really bring different awareness and content information with just where you're at. Right? So besides that, I already kind of knew my purpose early on. And a lot of people that are the black sheep or the chosen, like they're kind of in tune. Before it became a thing to be conscious, before it became cool to be conscious and woke and all that, there wasn't a name for it. It was just like you were just aware. Like you just were different. So now me being an adult and having my own children, my own family, and looking and analyzing, you know, it comes with a lot of pain and disappointment. It comes with a lot of loneliness, because as you break away from your blood family, you're now looking for your real family. You're looking for your real tribe. You're looking for your real people. And you're going to have people along the way that are going to be like false prophets. They're going to walk the walk. They're going to, you know, have the tattoos and the language and all that and the knowledge, but they're not needed in your tribe. They're not needed in your space. All right, so the same way they'll tell you like, oh, you got to be careful with the churches because there's always a false prophet or a false teacher. It's the same way with people. You know, I'm not fooled just because someone has more knowledge than me. I'm not fooled just because someone, you know, has a certain look and it seems like they're on the right path. Like I go off of energy and I'm going to feel you right away. That's just me. Everybody don't have that gift. So sometimes we get fooled, we get caught up in whatever the perception is that they're trying to give you. But I just want people to understand that it's okay if your family doesn't support you. It's okay if friends don't understand you. As long as you understand yourself, as long as you understand what it is you need to be doing in life, as long as you understand what it is you want to do in life. Our time here is very limited. I know that. I've always known that. And I'm not going to apologize for changing my life. I'm not going to apologize for not being so concerned with others that are not trying to change. Now, I'm not saying we can't talk. I'm not saying we can't communicate. I'm not saying we can't laugh and talk. But our time is going to be limited because I'm trying to change. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to do better. I'm letting go of fears. I'm letting go of trauma. I'm letting go of things that has weighed me down since I was a child. So if you're not on that type of time and energy, like I said, we can still intertwine, but it's going to be a limit. Because what's going to happen, we're going to start to clash. And 9 out of 10, it's your family, it's your friends, it's the ones you grew up with. So I don't want people to get discouraged because someone else has fear of doing something that you might want to do. So my thing is, be free. And before you even look for freedom, before you try to endure it or manifest it, figure out what that is to you. Figure out what freedom is to you. If freedom is just simply moving to another state or country or whatever, and that's just for just the move itself is freedom, then understand that before you do it. If changing yourself, if healing, if forgiving is freedom to you, understand what it is before you say you want freedom. It's really sad, and this might be off subject, maybe not, because everything in my mind has connections. Everything in my mind is connected to each other of what this journey is. So some people might watch this video, they might get lost because it's like, how'd you start from this to there? It's not for everybody. So I remember back in the day, like growing up, you'll see a lot of older people like outside, homeless, strung out, alcoholic, and you'll say, oh, those are homeless, they bums, or whatever, you know what I mean? Now it's the younger generation, way younger than me, and I see it on Skid Row. I think that's over in the California, somewhere over there, but I know Skid Row, but then also Kingston, it's in Philadelphia. And there was a guy walking through there doing a documentary in Philly. It was in Kingston, Philadelphia, or whatever. I'll post it because I know what I'm trying to say. I'm probably saying it wrong, right? But anyway, he's walking through there, and he said, I've been to many countries. He said, this is the worst place I've ever been in my life. And it was so sad because my husband is not from there, but he's from around there. He's from Jersey. And he actually went down there, and he was with his cousin. He actually put me on FaceTime. He said, babe, I'm going to show you something real quick. And he's walking through and he's showing me, and you see you see blocks and blocks and blocks of people strung out, doped up, whatever the situation, and they're young, like they're kids, they're young, and that's really sad. It's really, really sad. It's not my job to fix that, but it's my job to try to help. If you understand, and I don't even know sometimes how to help because that's just everywhere. I say that because a lot of times people look at other countries and say, oh, it's dirty, it's corrupted. And not knowing that you're in United States and there's places that's right around the corner from you, 2 hours away from you, 3 hours away, that's more corrupted than where I'm at. And you won't say nothing about it. You won't try to help. You'll just sit there and be a hypocrite and talk about other places you've never been to, but there's places that are 2 hours away from you that are in worse condition. And you won't say anything about it. And these are the same people that will tell you not to live your life. These are the same people that will listen to your dreams and inspirations and tell you that's not reality. Go get this, go do that. That's not going to work out. You need too much money. So be careful who you're listening to. I don't care what the title is. I don't care if that's your mom, your dad, your sister, or your own child. If it doesn't feel right, if it's not vibrating right, you got to analyze where you're getting your information from and what type of frequency these people are putting onto you. Because I see people telling me, oh, it's dirty in Mexico and it's not safe and all this other stuff that you see on TV. Yeah, certain places aren't as good as other places, right? But these are the same people that, like I said, an hour away or 2 hours away, right in Jersey, right in New York. And you got places that are filled with young people on the street, filled with blocks and blocks of them that are in the street. Kingston is one of them in Philly. And then my husband actually went to Boston, Massachusetts to do, I think he went to go do a video or something. And he went to a certain part and it was almost like Skid Row, but it just wasn't as big. And you know, Boston, if anybody knows Boston, Massachusetts, like it's money out there. It's nice out there. I've been out there. These are places that are right around the corner from you, and you got the nerve to talk about a country you've never been to. So I can't listen to people like that. And you shouldn't either. I'm just giving my personal example of these hypocrites that talk this, but they're not talking it to bring awareness to you. They're just talking it just to talk shit and discourage you. Because if they were talking out of concern, they would talk about the homelessness that's around you, the so many young teenagers and young people in general that are strung out, that you know might just need some help. And maybe since you're so concerned about the poverty, maybe you can go volunteer, but they won't. They'd rather talk in their house about it. So me personally, I seen that in my own home. I seen that with my own family, and I said, I can't let that energy resonate on me. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I don't know what the next 3 hours is going to bring. But I know that I'm going to continue to fulfill what my purpose here. And sometimes I get distracted. Sometimes my purpose feels exhausting, because part of my purpose, a big part of it, is to help other people. I don't have to have millions behind me. I can just have a handful of people. And as long as I'm helping just one person, I'm making a difference. I'm going to say this and I'm going to end the video. You always got to remember, regardless if you believe in Jesus or not, or if you're religion or spiritual, right? But just look at this metaphor. Jesus had 12 disciples. And he knew early on that most of them were going to turn their back on him. But he still kept them around. But he knew they were going to be disloyal. 12 disciples. Out of all the miracles you're performing and doing different, 12 disciples. Not saying he had other followers, but 12 disciples. And Hitler had millions and millions of followers. To this day, people still worship and have the tattoo on him and all that stuff that represents what he did. So that lets me know that evilness and negativity on the outside is going to look like it's going to overshine the good and the pure heart. It's going to look that way, but it's actually not. I know that and I understand that. Hitler had millions of followers. Jesus had 12 disciples. So as long as I'm helping a handful of people, I don't need to have millions of people behind me. That would probably overwhelm me. I'm good with the handful of people that God are bringing my way. The universe is bringing my way. The ancestors are bringing my way for me to help. Because I have a gift that I didn't ask for. And it came from grandma, with just being connected with energies and spirits and the intuition and whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to use that to the best I can. And I hope that you find your purpose. Because once you find a little bit of it, the more power you have, the more you understand yourself. And once you understand your power, it's over. No one can come in and corrupt you mentally, physically, or spiritually. So I'm going to go, you guys, because this is baking today. It is very hot and muggy. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It is absolutely free to hit that subscribe and notification bell. It's free. You ain't got to sign up for nothing. You ain't got to pay. Just subscribe and follow. And just be part of the mission and part of what I want to build. Because what I want is going to come. And it's almost scary, because me and my husband have this way of saying things we want, and it starts to manifest. I'm going to do another video on that. And I'm going to write down the actual things that we have manifested. So there's a lot more that I have to show, and a lot more that's going to come. You know, some things you got to take your time. I'm learning my downfall. You got to be patient. But I'm going to cut this video, because sometimes when I try to upload a longer video, my phone gives me issues and problems. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you're meditating. Make sure you're hydrating. And most importantly, most importantly, make sure that you are loving yourself. And maybe it's me, but in the back, if y'all look at that cloud right there, that almost looks like a heart. Maybe it's my perception, but that almost looks like a heart sitting up there.